Hey guys. So this is Guidance 507, or Opening Doors to Student Success. My name is Amy Borgi. I'm shooting from home, so I apologize. You may see my cats kind of cruising around in the background, doing their thing. I'm excited for you guys this semester because this is a chance for you to turn your life around. And that's kind of the joy and excitement that I experience every semester when I welcome a new group of students to Opening Doors. And you guys have chosen to be here, which is fantastic. And I'm so glad that we have an online option for you so you can get this done and also still get to do the other stuff that you need to do with your life. Um, I've been teaching this class since 2004, so it's been quite a while now that I've been teaching, and I absolutely love it. I would say Guidance 507 is my favorite class to teach, and the reason I love it so much is because I see so much growth in all of my students throughout the semester. And if you do the work and you participate in the discussions and you complete your Success Center activities, you will get an A plus in this class and rock it. Okay. I have some things I need to share with you just about the course. And I wanted to give you a little bit of information about me and my background so you can get a better idea of how I might be able to help you. Okay. So let's start with me. Okay. So I'm Amy Borgi. I've been a professor for about 16 years now at Chaffey College. I used to work also at Victor Valley College teaching psychology. My background is in clinical psychology. I have a PhD, so that's why a lot of people call me Dr. Borgi, because I have a doctorate in clinical psychology. I started out wanting to be a therapist, but as I did my internships and things with therapy, I realized that I didn't love it as much as I loved being a teacher. I actually found this job teaching when I was still in graduate school, and so I was finishing up my PhD at that time. And I decided at some point during my I guess path to becoming a therapist that I would rather be a college instructor, which I was already doing with people just like you. And I got addicted to really helping out students because what I've noticed is when I was doing therapy, it was a bunch of adults who were kind of like, oh, they just wanted to bitch and moan. They didn't really want to change. But you guys seem like you're ready to change. That's why you're here, right? The thing about students here at Chafee is that they're ready. They're ready to make some changes. And I think that that's where you're at if you're here. If you didn't want to make changes, you were probably just have not taken the class. But I want to let you know what this class is actually about so you can make a good decision about whether you want to stay here or not, okay? Because it's up to you. You do not have to stay here. It is completely 100% up to you whether you want to be here or not, okay? So, what I've noticed is students in the Opening Doors program are the best students ever, okay? And I don't mean that in like an academic way. I mean that like you guys just rock in like every other possible way, except for maybe some of you struggle with academics. But it's okay because I've got a lot of tricks and tools for you that are going to help you figure out what your learning style is so you can best adapt the way that you study and the way that you get ready for tests and the way that you approach your classes to your specific learning style. So I'll teach you about what your learning style is. We'll take some quizzes, figure out what your personality is like, what your studies should be like for your particular personality and learning style. And you're going to find out some more stuff about yourself. So we're going to be digging deep and delving into what makes you you. Um, what are you really like? What are the things that you enjoy doing? What are the things that you could do better at? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? So we're going to be looking at who are you and examining that on a deeper level. We're also going to be looking at some of your habits and patterns that you are currently engaging in. I want you to think about, I mean, starting right now, I want you to think about why you are taking this class. I mean, you're here because you are on academic probation, probably, or maybe progress probation. But I don't really care how you got here because that's in the past now, okay? But I want you to take a look at how you got here so you can figure out how to best change what you're doing so you can get where you want to be, okay? Then I also want you to think about what your goals are. What do you want to get out of this class? Where would you like to see yourself at the end of this semester or even halfway through? Where would you like to see yourself in 2 or 3 years or maybe 5 years? I want you to ask yourself those questions. What are some habits that you think are getting in the way of you being successful? And what do you think you need to do to change those habits? So, we're going to start thinking about those things. So, since I've been teaching this class for such a long time, I've kind of seen it all. I've seen people who are struggling because they're just feeling like maybe they don't know what they want to do. I think that's the biggest issue. Sometimes I don't know where I'm going, so I don't know if I'm headed the right direction or not. Okay, so that's a big deal. That happens. Some people are going through some personal struggles. You know, we have people who have family members who are sick, or maybe you're sick yourself. Maybe there's just a huge obstacle that's getting in the way of you being able to do what you need to do. A lot of people are just overbooked. Like maybe they're taking too many classes. So if you're taking like, I don't know, maybe 15 units and also working a 40-hour work week, you're setting yourself up for failure because that's a lot of work, especially if you have other things going on like friends or anything else really. If you want to live your life and have some fun once in a while, if you're working a 40-hour work week plus 15 units, you're not going to have time to do that and you're probably going to be really exhausted. And I think usually when people have a decision to make between work and school, guess what goes? It's usually school, right? So I guess I'm going to be teaching you a little bit about how to manage your schedule more effectively. So time management, but we call it self-management here because it's not, you're not managing time really. You're managing yourself and like what decisions you make about how you use the time that you have. Most people do have enough time to get all the stuff done that they need to get done. They just don't utilize their time well. Okay, so we'll talk about how to do that better. Um, I do want to say that I'm not a perfect person at all, and so I do not expect you to be perfect, okay? But what I do expect you to do is your best. I want to see you doing your best. And if you know that this isn't the right semester for you, or you can't really do your best right now, if you feel like maybe you're working too many hours to actually take a class right now, like this, where it requires a lot of time and energy, maybe you should wait until next semester or something like that to do this because I don't want you to start out if you know you can't finish from the beginning, okay? So if you know that you are in a position where you can't finish, please drop the class now so that way someone else who really needs it and can finish can take the class, okay? We like to have room enough for everybody because this is an online class, it fills up quickly. And so if you're not going to be here, please let me know as soon as you can, okay? Um, what else would I like to tell you? Uh, I guess maybe a little bit about myself and my journey as an instructor would be helpful to you. So I started out here at Chafee back in 2004. And I believe this program came into being in 2005. We began it in 2004 and started it in 2005 with teaching. Over the course of that time, we have changed the class a lot, but one thing that is not alterable or changeable are the success center activities that are required as part of the class. They are half of your grade. So you want to make sure that you get those completed. I will be offering all the information you need for the success center activities in week 2, just so you know. But that's about half your grade. And there are no makeups on those assignments. I do not offer makeups or late work unless you have either a doctor's excuse saying that you can't do it, or you had a court appearance of some kind and you had to appear in court. You do have to furnish proof of either one. I accept doctor's visits for your children or stepchildren, but I do not accept office visits or doctor's visits for other family members. So it's basically you or your dependent children. I will accept doctor's visits for those. Um, for you like grandmas, mothers, aunts, etc. Then you'll have to do extra credit to make up those points if you miss that time. Okay. Um, I have seen all kinds of students come into this class. And the most successful students are students who are willing to keep an open mind and students who are willing to take the time to really think and reflect upon what they're doing. The readings that are offered in this class are very powerful. So I really strongly urge you to do them. We have two books in this class. The first book is called that's our class, On Course by Skip Downing. And we're using the 8th edition, which is the older version. I think there's a ninth edition, but that's really expensive. So 8th edition. You cannot use 7th edition, 6th edition, 5th edition, none of that stuff, okay? You have to use 8th edition. um, the reading from that book is very useful and helpful for students, especially struggling students. And so, if you feel like you're struggling as a student, this book is designed to help get you back on course towards your goals and towards graduation. So it's a great textbook. I will be assigning readings from that book each week. The other book is called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. Okay. And a lot of students ask me, why are we using a teen version? What's up with that, right? Well, the reason is I prefer the teen version because it's easier to read, right? So I like the fact that there's like little cartoons in the book that make it a little more interesting. The reading level is pretty easy, so I think it's written at like maybe an 8th or ninth grade level. And it's about students. So there are more expensive books with the same information, but this one's real cheap. You can get it on Amazon used for like $5 if you look. Just make sure it's not the mini baby version because there is one going around that's like this big. You don't want the baby version. It's about this big, right? There's also an audiobook version on Audible of this book, and it's read by the author, Sean Covey. So it's kind of cool. I think you should get the audiobook if you are a busy person and you know you're not going to have time to read. Get the audiobook, listen to it while you're in your car, listen to it while you do chores, whatever. I do not mind if you use the audiobook instead of the regular book. It's absolutely fine. Ebooks are absolutely okay too, so you're welcome to get those. Now, I expect you to have the textbooks and show me proof by next week. So you need to purchase the textbooks as part of your homework for this week 1. And